Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this evening. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have a bunch of callers on hold, and I will get to them in just a couple of minutes. But first, you know what this is? Da-da-da-da! It's the first Thursday of the month, which means that I announce a winner of a free session with me. And that winner is going to get to talk to, we're going to get to talk to each other for an hour, and we can talk about whatever the winner wants to talk about. I can scan them medically. We can talk about past lives. I can scan their pets. We can talk to deceased loved ones. I mean, we can talk to anybody that's deceased if you want. If you want to talk to Mother Teresa or Napoleon or whomever, doesn't matter. What else? We can do past life stuff, whatever. You know, I'm a buffet of psychicness, so we can talk about anything and everything that you'd like in an hour. And the reason I do this, you guys, every month is because I so appreciate you listening to the show, number one. And number two, I know that $155 for a private session is a lot of money, especially to people right now. And so it's just something that I offer every month. And in order to enter the drawing, you have to do just 3 easy things. Sign up for my blog at Ask Julie Ryan, follow me on Instagram at Ask Julie Ryan, and leave a review on iTunes about the show. Subscribe to the show and leave a review. So that's it. And this is my 200th show, believe it or not. It's hard to imagine, but it is the truth. So this month, I'm going to give away 2 free sessions because it's my 200th show. Maybe at my 300th show, I'll give away 3. You never know. So here are the winners. The first one goes by on iTunes, TXDRMRCHIC. So probably Texas Dermer Chick, something like that. And she says, I'm assuming it's a chick because she has chick in her name here. She says, I started listening to Julie after a close friend called her to ask about his back, and she helped him. Her healing energy and loving thoughts helped him. Now I listen to Julie nearly every day while I'm working. It's my afternoon coffee break and sweet treat to myself. What I love most about Julie is her kindness to each and everyone she speaks with. You can hear the compassion in her voice as she reaches out to scan and assist people who call in from everywhere. Give this podcast a listen. You'll be glad you did. So, TXDRMR Chick, you are one of the winners for April. And then the second winner is an easier name to say, and it's Lala Worlds. And she said, I admire you very much. Listening to you makes my day to and from work. I also connect with loved ones that have passed, and you've made me realize there is so much more to learn. From your medical mediumship to connecting with pets, it's endless. I would love to learn how to do more. I honestly just let it flow for now. Thank you, Julie, for showing us all the way. Very sweet, both of those comments. And so Lala Words or Layla Worlds and TXDRMR Chick, guys, email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and we will pick a date and time for us to have an hour chat, and I really look forward to that. I love it when I get you guys for an hour because we can really do a deep dive. I get to know you. It's so much fun. We laugh a lot. Even if you got something serious you want to discuss, we still laugh. So give me an email, ladies, and we'll figure out what works time-wise. Okay, let's go to the phones. Our first caller is Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me tonight.
You're welcome. Everybody, I was on Lauren's show a couple of weeks ago, and I will post on my Instagram, Ask Julie Ryan, and Facebook, Ask Julie Ryan, a link to Lauren's show. But Lauren, please tell everybody about your show and about you and a little bit about the work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Julie, I think you already said it. We're pretty alike, and I think that we both say that we're entrepreneurs first who fell into, or maybe leaned into, rather, the woo. I started a digital marketing agency while I was still in college with a baby on my hip, and fast forward 8 years, I kind of had my own spiritual awakening, and as I began to start seeking the answers to some of life's biggest mysteries, I found myself getting immersed in all of the modalities and practices that really felt aligned with my soul. So I am wildly passionate about mindfulness, growth, spirituality, and really helping others become the best versions of themselves. So what I do, and also what my show, Master Your Mind, Business, and Life, really does weekly is provide guidance to those who are on an awakening journey and they crave a deeper level of self-awareness. And when I'm doing my one-on-one guidance practice, I use a variety of modalities from numerology to astrology and, of course, my own intuition and giving guidance. And I'm also a mom of 2 girls, and Julie, they love your book, Angel Messages for Kids. They absolutely love it. It's become one of our favorite books in our household, and I've told all of my friends about it.
Oh, thanks. Wonderful. I had a fun conversation Sunday night, Lauren, with a woman in Australia. I was being interviewed on a show down there, and I was talking to her real time in the future because it was Sunday night in Birmingham, Alabama at 7 o'clock, and it was Monday morning, 10 a.m. in Australia because they're so time zone, they're so far ahead of us. And I was telling the story about how that book came about, and one of the things I mentioned was my spirit guide, Pope Clement VI, was on my rear end to get it published by Christmas. And he will ride me on things when I have these discussions with him. They're not arguments, but they're heated discussions at times. And I'll say, I can't get that done that fast when he's giving me guidance. And he's like a Nike ad. He just says, just do it. So he was all about my getting the book out by Christmas, and it was published December 20th. I mean, I paid my illustrator double to get it out fast so it would be out in time for Christmas. And I was telling that story with this host from Australia, and she said, well, now you know why Pope Clement wanted that book out by Christmas. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, because COVID-19, the pandemic, was just beginning then. And your book gives so much comfort to not only children around the world, but also parents and grandparents who read it to their little ones, because it talks about how we're all spirits connected to a body, and how if we lose a loved one, we can still communicate with them and stuff like that in language that little children can understand. Therefore, their parents and grandparents can understand it. And she said, this book is the book that comes to mind, my book, My Angel Messages for Kids, for a quick explanation with amazing illustrations and colorful illustrations at a time like this when everybody's so fearful. And she went on to say, our little kids, we think, and you have little kids, she said, little kids, we think they're not paying attention. They're hearing the news reports about the number of deaths and stuff like that. So I thought that was really observant of her. I hadn't thought of that.
It really is, and it's true, and I think it definitely did come at divine timing. I mean, your spirit guide knew, right? He knew what was about to happen.
Yeah.
And she's so true. She hit it on the head that it's such a nicely illustrated and just a very easy to digest book about how we can connect. And I know we talked on my podcast that I'm a mom who's, we hear a sound and my kids are like, oh, it's spirit. And I'm, ask who it is. So it's very fluent in our house. But I think this book really gave them a new perception of it and just made them see that this is always a cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
Right, and it talks about how they're angels with them and their deceased loved ones are around them and they can talk with them. And stuff like that. And the book came about from a bunch of moms like you who asked me to write something that they could use with their little children to explain, how do we explain when grandma's body's in the casket and we're telling little Susie that grandma's in heaven, and little Susie's looking at us like, what are you talking about? Grandma's right there asleep in the casket. And how does, I've had several moms throughout the years say, how do I explain to my small child that my granddad's spirit visits them at night in their room, and my child tells me all this stuff that there's no way he would know because my granddad's been dead for 20 years. Or I had moms throughout the years say, how do I explain to my child that he knows things about his past lives that we can corroborate with historic documents online, but this kid can't read yet? And so that's what this book does in a way. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that story, Lauren, to you. Thank you for your kind comments, but also to everybody else. You can get it anywhere you buy books. It's called Angel Messages for Kids, and there's a link on my site, AskJulieRyan.com. You may want to consider getting it. I think it's $7. You may want to consider getting it and reading it to your kids during this scary time. It's great. Yeah. So how can everybody find you? How can they find your show? How can they find you?
Well, my show is everywhere, wherever you stream podcasts, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play Music. Just search Master Your Mind, Business and Life. And I am everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Lauren Smith Biz, that's B-I-Z, or Biz, sorry, I was thinking my website. And I'm also on the same platforms within my podcast channel at Mind Biz Life.
Right, and I'll have it posted on my social media as well, so there'll be links there that people can find you, Lauren. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Happy 200 episode.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, take care.
Have a great
Lauren.
show, Julie.
Okay, bye-bye. All righty. Next, we have Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
Good. So thanks so much for taking my call. My name is Michelle. I live in California. And I'm calling about lung respiratory issues, sinus issues that I have.
Yeah.
That I would really love to find the reason for them and clear them out. I have been trying, but especially right now it feels super important that I'm not more vulnerable.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Where are you in California? Are you in southern or northern?
Just north of San Francisco in Marin County.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get you on my radar, Michelle, and then we'll see what's going on. So how this works, Michelle and everybody, is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly simply because the body has mass. So I'm going to raise my vibrational level. I'm watching a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to hook into you in Marin. And I've got you, and I'm shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head, and it's as if I'm looking at a hologram of you. You have had mold exposure. Where is there a leak? There you have a leak in your home?
It was from a long time ago. There may still be some in my home now. I'm not sure. But the original one was from a long time ago. Okay.
So you have mold in your energy field. I'm cleaning it out. And wherever there's mold, Michelle, there's always an overgrowth of yeast in the GI tract, and you have that as well. So several things. First of all, on the mold, there's a website called homebiotic.com, like antibiotic for the home, homebiotic.com. It's a bacteria in a non-toxic formula. It's clear, it doesn't have any smell, and it kills mold because the bacteria eats the mold. It is just an amazing invention. It's called homebiotic.com. I would suggest going to that site and checking that out. They have a spray that you can use. I use it in my washing machine. My washing machine smells moldy sometimes. So every time.
If it's a front-loading one, then you have to keep it open and dry it out. Otherwise, it does get moldy.
I do, but it still smelled moldy. So I spray it in my washing machine each time, and it has made all the difference in the world. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, they have a test kit there that you can test if your home has mold in it. I would highly recommend you do that, and then if it does, then you can call in remediators. But, it's something you can do yourself. It's very accurate, very reliable. I would suggest that. Next, on the yeast, stay low on the food chain. And if God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. Yeast loves sugar, loves anything processed. Bread, even whole wheat bread, processes faster than sugar a lot of the time. So do that. Avoid anything fermented, wine, beer, alcohol, kimchi, yogurt, sauerkraut, all that stuff they say to eat for a healthy gut biome. Unless you got yeast. If you got yeast overgrowth, it's like pouring kerosene on the fire. Peel your fruit, Michelle. There's tons of yeast on the peel. Never put a slice of lemon in your water ever again for the rest of your life, ever, because it's full of yeast. If you need lemon in your water, cut a lemon, squeeze it in your water, and if you're going to use it later in the day, put it in a Ziploc bag, but then cut the top off of it again before you squeeze any juice out, because that'll cut off the mold. Or not the mold, the yeast. Wherever there's mold, there's always yeast. And then see if you can get somebody to write a prescription for nystatin for you. Nystatin. It's a natural antifungal, comes with a prescription, but it will kill the yeast in your GI tract, and that will help you get well. This is all coming from your gut. Lastly, if you email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, I will send you a link, and anybody else listening that wants this link, gut biome test. I would highly recommend you do that. It's going to tell you what the status of your gut biome is. More importantly, it's going to tell you what are going to be your superfoods to eat and what are going to be the foods that are going to be best for you to avoid. Okay? So you want to do that as well. And then you will be a new woman. So the good news is this stuff's all fixable.
Good.
Yeah. So there you have it, my dear. Any last questions before I let you go? You bet. That's a lot.
So you've just been clearing out the yeast right now?
Yeah. Yeast and mold. I cleared it out while we were talking. Because I'm multitasking, because I can do that. We can do that because we're girls, right? It's a superpower. Yes, I have. Yeah. So you had a healing. That's what was happening. You need to do some other stuff to complement it. Get the gut biome test done. All those suggestions I did, I would get on.
Homebiotic and the biome. Yeah,
and email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I'll send you a link for a discount on this gut biome test. You can do at home without a doctor's prescription.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much,
Thanks for calling.
Julie.
You bet.
Have a great
Take
evening.
Care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. Our next caller is Tim. Hi, Tim. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Julie.
How are you?
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Sure, I'm calling from New York.
New York. How are you doing up there?
I'm making it, trying to stay sane in this craziness.
Yeah.
So
I know. You guys are really at the epicenter, aren't you?
We are indeed. It's weird times, but I'm trying not to give into the fear because I know that's energy. So just keep pushing along.
Right.
So,
pay attention to all the amazing things that are happening. People are doing things that are just amazing, I think, during all of this. Beneficial, not only to themselves, but to others.
Indeed. So I'm trying to focus on the positive and tune out the news. I'm still working on the stuff from our session with myself, and the gut bio doesn't ship to New York, but I'm going to see if it ships to New Jersey to my cousin's house, and then see if we can go that way. But I was actually calling for my mom. I don't know if She's got a host of problems. It's she could really do well with you, except she's very religious and thinks anything outside of that is not for her.
Give her a copy of my book, Angelic Attendants, Tim, and and let her read that, because a lot of people that say that and then they read the book and then they're all about it. So
you know what? I'll try that. Right.
Yeah. Get her a copy of Angelic Attendants. Tell her that it's used in Sunday school classes around the country, and my church gives a copy to every family that comes in to plan a funeral and every family that has somebody in critical care or ICU. And it's used in synagogues as well around the country. So tell her that.
We'll order it tonight and give it to her. That might work.
So is there a question in particular you want me to check out with her?
The question in particular is with her health. She has some weird kind of issue with, like, her stomach. It's kind of like a stomach acid thing. She's always got, like, some congestion and just, I don't know if you can just tune in and give me information.
Tell me her name, Tim.
Sure. Her name is Barbara.
Barbara. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting to you, and from you I'm watching a laser beam go southeast. Is she southeast of you? It's southeast.
Yes, she is.
Okay. And it's hilarious. I watch it go across oceans and continents and stuff. It's a riot. So, Barbara, I'm talking to your baby boy, Tim. Would it be, may I scan you energetically? No. Well, we kind of knew that was coming. All right. What I was getting, even though I can scan her, I won't if somebody doesn't give me permission, Jim, because it's an ethical thing with me. I think it's a violation of their privacy. But I was getting information when you were telling me about the stomach acid. Same thing what I was just talking to Michelle about. I believe she's got a yeast thing going on.
Okay.
So if you listen to when this show comes out, you can get all those websites that I just gave to Michelle, and I would look into those for her as well.
Okay.
Sounds
like a plan. I'm going to get the book. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Thanks for calling.
Not a problem. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see who's next. I believe it's Miss Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you, girl?
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I do want to compliment you. You are always so wonderful to people. You make them feel really good and welcome, so that's a wonderful asset of you.
Oh, thanks. Last time we talked to you, Miss Amy, you looked like something out of a car crash movie. How are you feeling? Tell everybody what all you broke.
I broke 3 bones in my shoulder. I tripped in my room. I tripped over a cord, and I went flying, and I landed on my left shoulder, so I broke 3 bones on the shoulder humerus area, and then I fractured my right knee. And as horrible as it sounds, I'm actually doing fabulous for almost 4 weeks tomorrow recovery.
Good.
With no cast. I decided not to do any drug meds except the first 5 days, and that was great. Believe me, I'm not bashing it. I needed it, but I didn't want to get addicted to anything, so I went cold turkey, and I used my own stuff. So I'm on the mend. Thank you.
Good. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
San Diego.
All right. You got a question for me?
Yes. On the mend with this body, does my spirit guides or anyone have any information on like when I can expect to be back full circle, or what I can do to amplify the healing quicker?
Well, I got you on my radar while you were talking. Was that multitasking thing? Your left shoulder, your leg's healing great. Your left shoulder, you really did a number on that. So I'm seeing that's got a little bit of ways to go. So I'm putting stem cell energy again on both areas at the same time. And Amy, you may remember me saying that stem cell energy looks like a light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it, has a watery consistency to it. And there's a vortex that's spinning above your shoulder and spinning above your leg. Looks like a funnel cloud, like a tornado. And that centrifugal force creates new bone or new tissue or whatever body part we need. It is the absolute coolest stuff. So I'm watching a healing happen on that. When you ask the question, how much longer will you be out of commission, I get 2 months. to be completely back to normal, which is pretty fast considering what all you've done. But I get you will make a complete recovery and you'll have complete mobility.
Wonderful. I love it. I'm happy with that. And thank you so much. And everybody who calls in, I really love hearing from everybody. So thanks for being part of the family.
Oh, thanks, Amy. You take care down there. All right, behave.
Okay.
Behave.
I don't have a choice.
Okay. All righty. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, funny. Okay, let's see who's next. I think it's Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. Are you my Siamese twin separated at birth that we don't know about?
I think so. I am attached to you.
You sound a lot younger than I am, though. So maybe not. Maybe in a different life. Who knows?
Yeah.
Where are you calling us from?
I am calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. We've had an appointment before. You've helped me with some heart stuff that was going on, and but right now my mom has hypertension, and my brother and sister-in-law just came to be with us. They're 2 med students, and their school has been closed, and they'll be starting virtual learning pretty soon. And so they just came to stay with us because they were staying in their apartment near the campus on their own, and we were thinking, why in the world are you guys on your own? And especially when it's about to get so much worse, we have them kind of quarantined for a week because it's been a week since they left their apartment to go to a grocery store. So we said, okay, come here, be quarantined.
Where'd they come from?
They came from Boone County or Columbia, Missouri.
Okay.
And
it's not like they're coming from. It's not like they're coming from New York, New York City.
No. Yeah. Thank goodness for New York right now. But no, they're only coming from 2 hours away, and I just want to make sure that with my mom's hypertension, as that's an added risk factor for her. I just kind of want to see if we can scan my family, my mom, my sister-in-law, Jenny and Eric, my brother, to make sure that we're all corona-free, essentially.
So name those people again, and we'll just ask. I mean, without me even looking at them, we'll just ask. We'll ask the spirits and beyond. That's what my son used to say when he was little. Okay, so tell me their names. So it's Jenny, Eric, and Sylvia. And your mom is Sylvia? Sylvia. Yeah. Okay. So is anybody in Julie's family, including Julie, Jenny, Eric, or her mom, Sylvia, are any of them carriers of COVID-19 right now at this moment in time? I got a yes. All right, so let's go through them. So is it Julie? No. Is it Sylvia? No. Is it Jenny? No. Is it Eric? Yes. I think he's a carrier. So keep him quarantined for at least another week. Okay. I would keep him in for 2 weeks, quarantine. Okay. I don't believe he's going to get symptoms, but I think he's a carrier. And they're med students, for God's sake, so God only knows where they've been. The other thing is for your mom on the high blood pressure, Julie, there's a device called the Zona. Did we talk about that? We did. Zona. Okay, yeah. Check that out for her and see if that may help her on that. But is there any way we can put? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Is there any way we can put like a protective bubble around? I know you talked about that last time. On your last podcast episode around my mom and and Jenny and I. Yep, you got it. Yep, you got it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that for everybody that's calling in and everybody listening. You guys all have protective bubbles around you. So yeah, we're good. Yeah, I would keep Jenny and Eric sequestered at least for another week. Okay. You could think after a week it should rid itself, or will they be contagious after another week of quarantine? Will Jenny and Eric be contagious after another 7 days of quarantine with COVID-19? I get a no. Okay. So I'm getting that. Now, when the antibody test comes out, I would have both of them take that just to be sure. But yeah, I would have them, deliver them food, leave it on the front doorstep or something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
No, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Julia.
Good for you to call in and ask. That was smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they just arrived today, so and I sanitized all their stuff. So, but yeah, I just appreciate everything you do, and especially for this podcast. I want to make an appointment with you. It's so far out though. Right now, I know that with the pandemic going on, you're probably having appointments scheduled way far out. So
I really am not getting that many questions, which is interesting. It's very rare. And what I encourage you to do is go ahead and schedule, because people reschedule all the time, and then you can switch it around. And sooner appointments open up. So anybody listening, go ahead and get on the calendar and then check back, and you can check back on the calendar, because oftentimes people will reschedule before I even know about it. And then I just get an email saying, hey, Julie's rescheduled from, whatever to whatever. And I added extra appointments, too, last week. So there are extra times available since I'm home, too.
That sounds great.
So,
I'll do that.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's go to Deanna next. Hi, Deanna.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm happy to be on here from Seattle. We are really doing such a good job. Our governor and everyone is trying to be very responsible about safe distancing.
Yeah, I think everybody around the country is, for the most part. I'm so impressed with our elected officials on the federal and state and local levels. I think it's remarkable, all the amazing things that they've been able to accomplish in short order, as with, all the people, not only here but around the country. I talk to people all over the world during the week, and it's the same thing wherever they are. What's scary is you hear about the UK, and they've got like 8,000 ventilators in the whole country. So that's why President Trump's trying to make more so he can send some over to them. But you got a question for me?
I do. I have two questions, actually. You and I did a session, and I did do the gut biome test, and it was really interesting what came back. And once I changed that diet that they're recommending, will I need to take another test?
It's smart to see how you feel.
Okay.
If you're still having symptoms, then I would suggest you take another one. And it's a lot less expensive. I think it's half price when you take a retest. Good. But yeah, I think that makes sense. But if you're feeling good, then I think go with that.
Okay. My second question is, you and I worked on my arthritic knees, and I felt like I was 12 years old. Because you did whatever happened, everything was wonderful. And I have a pea patch, and I stepped in a hole, and I twisted my ankle and my knee, and now I'm back to almost where I was before. Okay. So I'm wondering what is going on, because you did such a marvelous healing. I could go up and I could go downstairs, and there was no pain, and now it's back in both knees.
Sorry.
So what's going on?
Yeah, the energy first, Deanna, went to your left ankle. Is that the ankle that you twisted?
Actually, it's the right ankle. I broke it backpacking, and I stepped in a gopher hole up in the pea patch.
Oh, geez. It's interesting how the energy, I just follow where it goes. It went to your left ankle, maybe because you're babying your right ankle, and so the left ankle's getting all the pressure. I just watched a chiropractic adjustment happen on the left ankle, coming up on the knees. All right, I'm watching a chiropractic adjustment on both. Right knee looks more inflamed than the left, so I've got anti-inflammatory energy on that to calm down the pain.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's the one that really is hurting me.
Yeah, I got that. And then ankle, same thing, chiropractic adjustment. When a chiropractor opens back up, go get an adjustment. In the meantime, I would use ice, and hopefully these healings will help it heal quickly.
Okay. Well, what about diet? Is there anything that I'm eating?
You know what? I'm gonna need to get somebody else. Let me go to somebody else so I can get somebody else on. Okay. So you snuck in 2 questions. Usually I only take one. So you took it. You snuck in 2. No. It's good. It's good. So let me
so much,
get
Julie.
somebody else. I'll tell you what though. Hang on, and if I get through everybody, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right.
Great. Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
Stay safe
bye.
up there. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Joan. Hi, Joan.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
How are you? How are you, girl?
I'm good, Julie.
Good. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Courtdale, Pennsylvania.
Okay, terrific. Am I on speakerphone? Can you get me off speaker, please?
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm getting feedback, but that's all right. Go ahead.
I was on speaker, and I just took it off.
Good girl.
I'm calling because during these unsettling times, I wonder if you could communicate with my sister who passed on.
Sure.
And my whole family is, frightened, and she was like our rock.
Yeah.
And we don't have her to turn to.
Okay. What's her name, Joan?
Barbara.
Barbara. All right. What do you have a question for Barbara, or something you want to ask her or say to her? She's standing to your right.
I just whatever you're getting from her, whatever she's saying, or some kind of advice that she could give us or give me or any of us.
Yeah. She's saying you can talk to her anytime. She's telling me to teach you how to do it. Yeah. Say something to her, either aloud or in your head, Joan, and she's going to answer you immediately. It's going to be like a thought in your head, because spirits communicate telepathically. And and they're really literal. Be super specific if you're asking her a question or you're looking for guidance. She's saying everything's fine. You can stay calm. Everything's fine. Everybody's fine. You're going to be out of this soon. Just do your best to stay calm. Easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things, this is from me, one of the things you can do when you're feeling really anxious is use my 2-minute rule. Do you know about that, Joan?
No.
My 2-minute rule, here's how it goes. It's a trick. I call it a trick. It's a technique. When we're feeling a negative emotion like fear, anxiety, or grief or whatever, our spirit's letting us know we're out of balance. Because our spirit is pure love, right? And love feels good. Doesn't mean you have to love everything. It means that you accept things as they are and that everything's unfolding perfectly and it's benefiting you in some way. So when you're feeling really scared, like now, ask yourself this question. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? I call it the 2-minute rule. If the answer is yes, then change the conditions. If you're standing in the middle of the road and there's an 18-wheeler headed toward you, you better move out of the road before it runs you over, right? Everything else is stuff we make up in our heads, right? So it's called an irrational fear. So if you use the 2-minute rule with anything at any time, it's free, it's convenient. Wherever your brain is, you can use it. Your brain's usually with you wherever you are. And so you just use the 2-minute rule and you say, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? You're going to get a no. Most of the time you're going to chuckle. A lot of the time you're going to chuckle, because what that does is that interrupts the frequency of thoughts that we're bringing in. All thoughts originate outside of our heads, and our heads receive and transmit information. They're like big satellite dishes. So if you're on the, oh my God, what if I get COVID, then I go to the hospital and they don't have enough respirators and blah, 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 blah. And we're making all this stuff up, right? It's fake news that we're making up in our heads, and we get stressed out over stuff that good chance is never going to happen, that we're making up. So when you use the 2-minute rule, that disrupts that train of thought, and then you can say, how is this benefiting me? Even if it's only benefiting you in a way that you're identifying a fake thought, a fake belief, As soon as you identify that it's an irrational fear, which means it's fake, guess what? It doesn't have any control over you anymore. So the 2-minute rule works great, and you can teach it to your other family members. So, yeah, there you go. Quick? I hope that helps.
Could I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, is she very, very happy that she's not going through this with this coronavirus right now? I mean, where she is.
Spirits are really happy all the time. They, the emotions that we assign to spirits are human emotions. They stay with the body. When the body dies, when somebody dies, spirits are all pure love and light, always. So she's thrilled about anything that's happening.
Okay.
Spirits look at experiences not as good or bad. They look at them as just an experience. We assign good and bad to things. So use the 2-minute rule. Focus on the good that's happening as a result of this. Focus on all the good things coming out of this. Time with family, stuff like that. It will change. Use the 2-minute rule. It will change that station you're on. You will get thoughts that will feel good. You'll know that you've changed that station when you feel better, and it's pretty much instant. I'm telling you, try it.
Okay.
The more you do it, the more it'll become a habit. You're going to love it. Okay?
Okay.
So thanks for calling.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
All right, everybody. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. Call-in number 712-770-4160. Access code 533677#. You can find this information at a whole bunch of different places. On my website, AskJulieRyan.com. You'll find it at the bottom of the home page. Anywhere you download podcasts, it's in the show notes. We're also on Alexa. We're on YouTube. It's in the show notes there as well. When you're on my website, please sign up for my blog. That's a question somebody asks. It's chosen. I answer it each week. And I also put a reminder on there. Hey, remember to call in. So do that. And when you're there, schedule an appointment. And we'll have a whole hour to discuss whatever you want to talk about. So here's the question this week. It was submitted by Lynn. Lynn lives in Jacksonville, Florida. And she said, "Hi, Julie. My father passed away about a year ago. He had a lot of problems during his life, and I'd love to be able to know that his soul is at peace now. It would be comforting to be able to receive a message from him, and I would also like his advice on whether I'm making the right decisions in my life. I would be grateful if you were able to help me communicate with him. Thanks, Lynn." And here's my response. Hi, Lynn. My condolences on the passing of your father. In order to get answers to your questions, I first energetically connected to you and then to your dad, who was standing to your right. When we want to connect with somebody, you guys, you just think of them, who's deceased. That tunes us to the radio station, tunes us to the frequency of their spirit. It immediately brings them in. They always stand to our right, as I perceive it. All right, I went on to say he is absolutely at peace and is also having a lot of fun in his current non-physical state. Your dad told me he finds being a spirit convenient because he can be around you anytime he wants, including whenever you call on him. That's what I was just talking about. Every spirit, whether attached to a body or not, has its own frequency, like a radio station. All we have to do to connect with our deceased loved ones is to think of them. I guess I was ahead of myself on that, sorry. Our heads act like satellite dishes that transmit and receive energy frequencies. And like choosing a radio station in our cars, when we think of a deceased person, we tune our receivers towards their frequency. So say something to your dad. He'll immediately answer you. It'll feel like a thought in your head because spirits communicate telepathically. So, Joan, I guess your question was a great lead-in to this question that I'm answering with Lynn here. I went on to say, be sure to be as specific as possible when asking for advice. Although spirits will always answer correctly, how usable the information you receive is will depend on how you ask the question. For example, you may ask if you'll enjoy the concert and you get a yes answer and end up hating the concert. Your loved one's answer applies to any concert you might attend in your whole life. If, however, you ask whether you'd enjoy the concert on a certain day at a specific location to listen to whomever, that answer will be more applicable. Regarding your question about making the right decisions in your life, your dad said you can't make a mistake. Everything in your life is unfolding perfectly. Hope this provides the comfort you're seeking. Thanks for your question. So Lynn from Jacksonville, Florida, your dad's around you. Talk to him. Joan, like you can talk to Barbara, and we can all talk to our deceased loved ones. So we can do that too. Okay, let's go back to the phones. I believe our next caller is Melda. Hi, Melda.
Hi, Julie.
Hi. How are you, girl?
Oh, I'm so good. I just want to say thank you so much for that 2-minute tale because I use it a lot.
The 2-minute rule. Oh, if that came in, Melda, if that came in probably, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, and I'm like, what is this? And now I teach it in my classes, and I teach it to people like you and people on the show that are listening, and it works great, doesn't it?
It does, and it's so great just right at this time because you listen to the news and think, oh, I think I must have a sore throat. It must be the virus.
Yeah,
and we kind of go crazy.
That's right. Right. Fear is a powerful emotion, and we're hardwired for fear, Melda. We come by it naturally. We're looking around the corner always for that saber-toothed tiger that may chase us. So it's a human response, and it's a good thing because if we want to stay alive, we need to be smart about it. So please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from the Bay Area in California.
All right, and you got a question for me?
I do. I've been having issues with my eyes and my nose and my throat, and I have a little growth that appeared on my nose. It's not on the outside or inside, but I just wondered if you could do a scan and see what was going on.
If the growth is not on the inside or the outside of your nose, where is it?
Well, it's like on the inside of the inside.
Oh, the inside of the inside? What's that mean?
I mean, it's not on the inside of my nose. It's not on the outside, but it's a bump.
Okay.
And
it's
nice and red, and it hurts.
It's an ingrown hair, girl. That's what it is. It'll heal. It's not a big deal.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's hilarious. All right. As far as the rest, I see a lot of pollen in your sinuses, in your nose, in your throat, and all of that. Are the trees blooming? And
they are.
Plants and stuff.
I've been sneezing a lot.
Yeah. Do you have a neti pot?
I do.
Okay, you use it. You know what I use for the fluid is I use bottled water. Be sure it's ozonated and purified like Dasani or Aquafina or Nestle, one of those brands, or something else. You can get Sam's or Costco or whatever. And distilled works too. Bottled water works. Get those saline packets. I heat it up a little bit in the microwave just because to make it warm, and it works great. You're golden. You just got some pollen up your nose.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So I just blew it out. I just used the irrigation tube that they use in surgery.
Blow hard.
We blew. I just blew your nose for you. And a bunch of pollen came out. You know what's funny about the pollen? I had a friend who was stung by a wasp one time, and he was very allergic. And so when I scanned him, he was in the emergency room, and he called me. And when I was scanning him, there was this serum in his energy field, and it was this thick yellow serum. And I thought, what the heck is this? And then I realized it was the pollen from the wasp.
Oh, wow.
That was in his energy field. It was pretty wild. So he did fine. But great to talk to you. Stay safe up there.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go to Darcy next. Hi, Darcy.
Oh, hi. How are you, Julie?
I'm well. How are you?
Speaker. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to give you an affirmation. I had an interesting conversation with my husband last night. He got off the phone with his boss, who he works in Cincinnati, and I'm in San Francisco with my family, and he's going to be starting soon working remotely part-time. So we had our talk a couple months ago, and you said that was going to happen, and here it is happening.
Yay! Little did we know about the pandemic, right?
I know.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm calling actually is just to check in with my mother-in-law. She's been just having, a hard time, and I just wanted to see what's going on with her right now. You've answered some questions about her. Her name is Betty.
Say it again, Darcy. You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, Betty.
Betty. Okay. All right. And tell everybody real quickly what's going on with Betty.
Well, I called originally about her wound on her shin. It's healing nicely. It's still there, but that Tegaderm, and it's great. And then, she has PD, and now the real problem is just kind of the Alzheimer's is kicking. Between the UTI that she had, and she's just got a lot of stuff going.
Yeah, she's not dying at the moment, Darcy. She is in her spirit's in her body. She is not dying. And that wound is healing. She's got a wound on her shin, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we talked about going to get that dressing that looks like fake skin called Tegaderm, and you got it and it's working well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's great. It's granulating in. Okay. So I've put some more stem cell energy. She's let me work on her before, and so I know she'll let me back in. I'm already attached to her. So I went from you to her. I put some stem cell energy on there, another dose of that to help that wound heal. But she's holding her own. Yeah. That's where the energy went first, was her leg. So that's her biggest issue, probably because of infection.
Yeah.
The potential for infection there.
But she fell and hurt her knee, and so every time she wakes up, she's ow, my knee. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, but I'm so thrilled that your husband is going to be able to work from home. How fabulous.
Yeah, it's great.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Hang in there. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Sophie next. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm calling from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wonderful. How are you holding up down there?
I'm doing good. Pretty good.
Great.
The question I have is about my eyes.
Yes.
Off and on for several years now, well, for a few years anyway, off and on I've had dry eyes. And for the past week or so, it's been really painful, almost. So if there's anything you can do about that.
Yeah. Okay. Dry eyes going in. So what I'm doing is stem cell energy again, but this is stem cell energy night. What I'm doing is I'm coating your eyeballs with stem cell energy. How about that? Okay. And so it's this watery gel. And do you remember that stuff called Dippity Doo? Maybe when you were a kid, that hair gel that a lot of people use. Okay, yeah. It's anybody that's listening, Dippity Doo, you'll laugh because that's what it reminds me of, is Dippity Doo. So I'm coating your eyes, and I watched a little bit of it go in your tear ducts too. There's a vortex spinning above both eyes, one above each eye, Sophie. And that's going to regenerate it's like the membrane that's covering your eyes is needing to be lubricated, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm watching happen. So I hope that works. I'm sure you're using eye drops, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right.
And I have an appointment with you, except it won't be for another month or so. But I did hear what you said about rescheduling, so I will try.
Yes. Go on my calendar on my website, askjulieryan.com, and just when you think of it, Sophie, just go on, and you're going to be surprised. There are appointments that pop up, and then you can reschedule to that appointment. And let me know if you need some help on that. Just email me if you need to, and you can get me either on the contact part of my email or julie@askjulieryan.com, and I can help you if you run into issues. But I'll look forward to getting you for a whole hour.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Me too. Okay. Well, I hope your eyeballs feel better.
Okay, thank you, Julie.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. All righty, let's see who else we have. I believe we've got, let's see, Renee is next. Hi, Renee.
Hi, Julie. It's Renee from Westchester, Pennsylvania.
How are you, girl?
I'm doing well.
Terrific.
I'm so surprised. I actually have an appointment scheduled this month too.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yes.
You got a question for me?
I do. I really my whole adult life I have this feeling. I've done so much work on it. I'm a clinical social worker by trade. I've gone to past life regression of a fear of like when the elevator doors close, like I cannot get out. I don't know if like a spirit guide or you could tune in and get any information about how intractable this is, how I can let it go.
All right, so I'm connected to you. Let's do the past life thing because that's what came up for me.
Okay.
But you said that, I got a ping on that. So I imagine myself in an endless hallway, Renee, and it has narrow walls and it has really tall ceilings, maybe 40 feet tall. And on both walls, floor to ceiling, are 12-inch by 12-inch mirrors, and each one represents a different lifetime. So I'm asking, does Renee have a past life in which there's some kind of correlation that is having her be afraid to be on an elevator? And the ones that match that question come out from the wall, Renee. They look like they're on a hydraulic arm and they're being pushed up from the wall. So show me the one that correlates the most. Okay, it's down on the right. Down a ways. Okay, I get the year's 1823. All right. In Oslo, Norway. Okay. I know. I laugh. I can't make this stuff up. I'm not that creative. So Oslo, Norway, you were a man in that lifetime. All right. So what happened? You're in a barn, and the barn catches on fire, and something has fallen in front of the doors, and you can't get out. Okay. So that makes total sense. What I'm doing, Renee, is I'm pushing that past life memory out of your energy field, and it comes out of your pores. It looks like a blue vapor. You look like a big chia pet, and instead of bean sprouts coming out of your pores, you got blue vapor. So, those crazy chia pets they sell at Christmas time on TV. I don't know who buys those, but somebody is because they can afford the ads. Really? So that is clearing. We can revisit that when we talk, but you are absolutely right. You are absolutely on the target with this, that it was a past life thing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So hopefully that will give you some relief from that.
I love it.
Okay. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Yes, me too, Julie.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Renee.
Fantastic.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody. That's it for this week. That went fast. We got a lot of people on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a bunch. And 12, considering the question, too. So thank you for listening. Thank you for everybody that called in. I'm going to send out a note on my angelic attendant training. The next class starts the weekend after Easter, which is April 18th. It's half full. The rest will fill. If you're thinking about it, now's a great time to do it because we're all home. So you can learn to do everything I do. And I would love to have you join us. So send me a note if you want to know more about it, but you'll just go to AskJulieRyan.com, Angelic Attendant Training, and you'll see that. Please consider joining us. We have a ball, too. It is so much fun. I'm actually going to get together with all the graduates this weekend. We're going to do a video live chat, a video conference call, so we can all be together. And we do that every month, but I think we'll have a bunch this month. All right, with that, everybody, stay well, stay safe, wash your hands, follow what our government officials are telling us, and until next time, take care. Bye now.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.